Hi, FlossTube.
Hello, FlossTube.
I'm Pam.
And I'm Stephanie.
And this is Just Keep Stitchin', episode 145.
25 plus 20 plus 25 plus 25 plus 20 plus 10 plus 10 plus 5 plus 2 plus 3 is 145. 'Cause math.
Welcome back, everybody.
Hello, friends.
Hope you're doing well.
Yeah.
And good to see you.
Yes.
Even though we can't see you, it's good to see you.
We're glad you're here.
We're glad you're here. This is a channel about cross stitch.
Sure is. The whole time.
Lots of other FlossTubers have come up with better ways to say that. They've kind of worked it into their intro. I'm not that good.
But let's just say it like we've always said it, which is this is a YouTube channel about cross stitch.
How was your week? Hope you got a lot of stitching in.
Yep.
And that you are getting into a new groove for the new normal.
Yes.
It's what we got to do.
It is.
So,
it is.
We're going to start off our episode this week with some business.
Some business.
And Stephanie's going to take it from here on that.
I sure am. So, if you are a subscriber to Just Keep Stitchin' and you have your announcements set up so you get alerted when a new video is posted, then you got alerted sometime around 12:30 on Tuesday, April 6th or 7th? 7th? No.
It was just
whatever this last Tuesday was. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Right.
And you were probably like, who's that?
Yeah.
And so, if you are new to this channel, then we will tell you that both Pam and I are members of the team that puts on StitchCon. Most of our viewers know that, but just in case you're new here, that is an important piece of information.
Right.
StitchCon is a retreat that is put on in June here in Cincinnati. It is run officially by Keepsakes, which is our local needlework shop / my employer. And so we are on the team, and we had to make the hard decision to cancel StitchCon 2020. A lot of the response has been that, you know, people saw it coming. Frankly, we did too. But there was a lot of different cogs in the wheel as to how that decision was going to be made. It's not a small retreat. There's 400 people that come to Cincinnati. And so we needed to do what was best for all of the attendees and the team and just the general public. So, if you are a paid attendee for StitchCon 2020 and you are just now hearing that StitchCon is canceled, I highly recommend that you go watch the StitchCon 2020 cancellation announcement. That was made by Barbara Hills, who is the owner of Keepsakes, the head of the StitchCon team. She was very adamant about wanting that message of a cancellation to come from her, as opposed to us or Nicole, Buckeye Stitcher, is also on the StitchCon team. But Barbara wanted it to come from her, which I think is appropriate. Yeah. And so that video is posted on Just Keep Stitchin's channel, along with Nicole, Buckeye Stitcher's channel. And it is also posted in the StitchCon Facebook group. Now, I'm not going to sit here, we're not going to sit here and go through everything that she said in that video, because that would be counterproductive of our time. We are well aware that not everyone that watches our videos is coming to StitchCon or has any interest in coming to StitchCon. Sure. So, if you want to watch a video, it is up on our channel and you can check that out. Right. So, some of the basic information is that it's canceled. If you are a paid attendee for StitchCon 2020, your registration fee will carry over to StitchCon 2021. We will be having 2 StitchCons next summer. They are 2 separate weekends.
Back to back.
But they will be basically the same weekend. Not one will not be better than the other. They both will be the same weekend.
They'll both be fantastic.
Correct.
Right.
And so, however, if you need your registration fee refunded because of this current time that we're in, we totally understand that, and you will not lose your space for StitchCon 2021 if you need that refund. But again, Barbara goes through and explains how all that stuff works in that other video. So, there were a couple things that after watching the video back and getting questions and feedback from people in the comment section and messages from people and emails and all the things, since Tuesday, there were some clarifications that I wanted to share with you all. First and foremost, I mentioned the StitchCon Facebook group. That Facebook group is for paid attendees only.
Right.
So, we've gotten, and I expected this to happen, but because Barbara mentioned the StitchCon Facebook group in her video, people were like, oh, I want to go find that to do whatever. Yeah. And it's a closed group for paid attendees only. As of right now, the group is StitchCon 2020. Come September, when the invoice processing begins, it will be renamed StitchCon 2021.
Right.
So, if you requested to join the group and you have not gotten in yet, it's probably because you're not a paid attendee of this year's, what would have been this year's event.
Right.
So, everyone that's in there will stay until September. So, know that. Okay, and then this is for paid attendees for StitchCon 2020 and your hotel reservations. All of the hotels there were 3 hotels that had a StitchCon block in them.
Right.
All of the hotels that had StitchCon blocks in them have been made aware long before we made the announcement that we were going to cancel the event. So it is up to you to get in touch with whatever hotel you made your reservation at. They're not going to automatically assume that you...
Yeah, you need to cancel yourself.
Right.
Just like you made the reservation yourself, you need to cancel yourself.
Correct. And so they're not going to be like, what do you mean it's canceled? So the block rate for 2021 will be the same. It will still stand. However, you need to discuss with your hotel how they want you to make your new reservation for 2021 if you plan on attending in 2021. So, you just need to reach out to your hotel and get that all squared away. But they're probably expecting your call.
Right.
Right.
And you may find that wherever we're planning to stay in June may not want to hold a reservation this far in advance.
Correct.
So, there is really not a rush to worry about that right now.
Correct. So, the next point on my list is the invoicing process and the wait list. So, first and foremost, I want to say that probably one of the most commonly asked questions that we've gotten since the video went out is, how do I add my name to the StitchCon waitlist? At this point, the StitchCon waitlist is closed. If and when we decide to reopen the waitlist, we will let you know with plenty of time. The reason that it's closed right now is because we need to make our way through a lot of that waitlist still. And we don't want people to add their name on the waitlist thinking they're close to the top when they're not. And so, again, like I said, depending on how many people we're able to get through, at what rate we're able to get through them, then we will let you know if and when that waitlist reopens. We love the enthusiasm for wanting to attend. That's amazing. Thank you so much. But that's just how we're doing it for 2021 right now. If you put your name on the StitchCon 2020 waitlist at any point, it is still on that said waitlist. So we're not like deleting
shuffling,
no
moving,
shuffling. It's all the same list.
Rearranging.
Correct. So
still there.
How the invoicing process will work is the following. So starting on September 1st, 2020, the first set of invoices to go out to fill open spots for StitchCon 2021 will go to those paid attendees who needed a refund between the dates of March 15th and August 31st of 2020. So they were promised that they wouldn't lose their spot and that we're holding to that promise. And so those group of folks will get the first dibs on open spots.
Right.
The next group of folks who will get an invoice will be anyone who canceled and got a refund before March 15th, 2020. Then the third wave of invoices will go to the people on the wait list.
There you go.
So, I have not, there were some people who like got invoices for, like if you received an invoice for StitchCon 2020 and you said that you could not go and there was no financial exchange, like no money was exchanged, you're still on the wait list. So unless you made it very clear in your response to me or to Barbara or whoever and said, please remove my name from the list, we haven't removed your name.
Yep, you're still there.
Still there.
Yep.
So, that is how that whole invoice process will work. Now, obviously, since we're having 2 StitchCons, both weekends will have 400 attendees. So, as it stands, that is by default 400 open spots. So that's fantastic. So if you had your name on the StitchCon waitlist and for 2020 and you had not gotten an invoice yet, chances are good that
Pretty good that you're going to get one.
Get an invoice. So that leads me to the next thing, which is if you are on the StitchCon waitlist and you would like to know where you are on said waitlist, you can send an email to Barbara. The StitchCon email address is listed in the description box below. She has a separate inbox for StitchCon than she does for like keepsake stuff. So it's like 2 separate ones just so she can keep them straight. So you just send an inquiry there. She's working through the refunds and all that kind of stuff. So if she doesn't get immediately back to you, know that she will, and she'll let you know where you stand on the wait list as it is right now.
Right.
So, okay. And those invoices will come via PayPal. So, okay. So, thank you to everyone who has responded to the video and the post, like the video on YouTube and the post in the Facebook group, with your incredibly kind understanding and your wonderful words of encouragement, all of the things. It really makes us as a team feel good about the decision to not only cancel, but to have 2 next year. So we fully understand that it's going to be a lot of work, but we are more than up for the challenge. The only sort of like, I don't want to say negative, that sounds dramatic, but like concern, I guess, is a couple people were discouraged because we were having 2 and they didn't know how they were gonna, make sure they were with all their friends.
Yeah.
So here's what you do.
Yeah, you get in touch with your friends.
Talk to your friends.
Yeah.
So, for example, since we are on said StitchCon team, we will be at both weekends.
Yeah.
Okay. So, however, we are part of a fantastic local stitching group here. We talk about them all the time. They're the Whistle Stop Girls. Right. There's 9 of us total. Okay. So, without us, there's 7, because math.
Yeah.
We have a chat group on Facebook. It's all 9 of us. Those girls have between now and September 1st
to figure out
which weekend they all want to
go to. And they're all local.
Right.
There is not the option, as Barbara explains, or it's in the Facebook group, I guess, to come to both, which would be very tempting for local people, like our local Crockpot crew people. Right. And so they, as well as everybody else in the Facebook group, has been alerted to the fact that you can't come to both.
Correct.
So that's a decision that your group of friends needs to make.
Correct. Yes. So you have all summer to do that. Yeah. So, and then that's just how you do it. And then, so how the picking a weekend process will go is that the paid attendees in the StitchCon Facebook group will get the link to a Google form first to pick which weekend they would like to attend. And then as invoices get paid, you will receive an email with the link to the same Google form asking which weekend you'd like to pick.
So your group needs to be all of one mind.
Correct.
For that point when you all get, your 5 or 6 friends, get that Google form so you all pick the right one.
Correct.
To be together at your table or however.
Right.
There you
so, my biggest message is that if you are out there and you're a paid attendee for StitchCon 2020 and you're like freaking out about making sure you get the same weekend with your friends or your hotel reservation, I just want you to take a second and breathe.
Yeah. Because
in
the middle of everything else going on in the world and in the country, you don't need to be fretting about this.
Right. It will all be fine. It will all work out. We are here to answer your questions, comments, concerns. Right. So, with that said, if you have any questions, comments, concerns about StitchCon, I am open to answering them for you. Pam is open to answering them for you. You can leave them on this video if you want, but our preferred method of sending your questions, comments, or concerns is to send Barbara a email at the StitchCon email address, again, listed in the description box below. At the end of the day, if somebody comes to me with a question and I don't know the answer immediately, I'm just going to ask Barbara. Yeah. Because she's the one driving the bus.
Correct.
So, I don't mean to start a FlossTube with bad news, but I wanted to make sure
we needed to touch on a few points.
All of my bullet points.
Right. And if you couldn't care less about StitchCon, there's always the fast forward. So, yes. There you go.
This is very, very true. And then I wanted to also really quickly just say thank you all so much again for being a part of my Instagram lives this week. I had a lot of fun. I've gotten through every chart, believe it or not, in my Stitch Before I Die box. And so the next thing that I'm showing this upcoming week is my WIP parade. So I got through maybe 4 things the other day. So if you're interested in seeing my WIP parade, then you can catch it on Instagram, and then they will be uploaded to YouTube directly after. I am working Monday. I think I'm probably going to be working Tuesday as well. So it looks like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday will be.
And her Instagram account is in the description box below so that you can follow her and get alerts as to when she's going to be doing IG lives.
Yes, that is correct. So I hope to see you there.
Right. All right. We have a shout out.
Yes, we do.
Because for whatever reason, Keepsakes is
just pumping them out.
Pumping out FlossTubers. Especially because we've all got this extra time.
Yes.
And we've shouted out Rebel Stitcher, our friend Colleen, and we have another one. And we are so excited about this one as we were about Colleen.
Yes.
This is our friend Megan.
Hi, Megan. You've heard us talk about our Megan before.
Yeah, we call her our Megan because, well, I do because I could be her mom. She is a wonderful young stitcher who has been living in the Cincinnati area doing a pre-med school practicum at Children's Hospital in Cincinnati. And she comes from Georgia. And so her Instagram handle is Georgia Girl Stitching. And that is what she's decided to name her FlossTube. She had her debut episode the other day, and she did a fantastic job.
Just perfection.
I know. Yes. So, welcome to FlossTube, Megan. And
we love you. And you guys should check her out.
Yeah, go check out Georgia Girl Stitching.
She does a lot of super unique projects, and she just... her young enthusiasm is refreshing, and it's not the same old projects.
Right.
So you should definitely check her out.
Yeah, she's thinking about a 2-week schedule, and smartly she's decided that because she has been accepted to med school back in Auburn and at Auburn, and she's going to be leaving Cincinnati. Boo-hoo.
We're not talking about it.
around the end of June. And she's engaged to be married to a wonderful young man. Mm-hmm. And he is currently in med school.
At Auburn.
Mm-hmm. On a Navy scholarship. And it's all just
They're literally perfect.
They're going to have just a wonderful life.
I know.
So we love her to death. And we want to send you over there and give her some love. About an hour after she put it up, she already had 100 subscribers because, you know.
She's good.
She's good. So anyway, we wanted to give her a shout out.
We love her. We love you, Megan.
All right. The next thing we want to talk about. No, not until the end.
Okay.
The next thing we want to talk about is our hashtag Stitch Harmony.
Yeah.
Where we shout out someone who is looking for an in-person stitching buddy. And of course, we know that this is kind of in timeout right now.
Yeah, that's
but for the hopefully foreseeable future, we got 3 hours or 4 hours or so ago, sometime today, we got a comment using the hashtag Stitch Harmony, and it comes from a woman named Liz Salas.
Hi, Liz.
Salas, I'm not sure.
Let's say Salas. That sounds
exotic.
It does.
Anyway, this is what she wrote. Hashtag Stitch Harmony. She lives in Brownsburg, Indiana. And this was so recent. I just printed it off my printer. I didn't look where Brownsburg is. So I don't have an idea where Brownsburg is.
I have no idea.
And she's looking for a cross-stitch group in the area. And so if you are in Indiana or near Indiana.
All right, let me explain how this works.
Yeah.
So, how Stitch Harmony works is if you are a stitcher and you're watching this video and you're like, oh, Brownsburg, Indiana is where I live, or Brownsburg, Indiana is close to where I live, or I can get to Brownsburg, Indiana within reason, and you are looking for a stitching friend, or you have a group of stitchers who have room for one more, then you need to comment on this episode 145, and say, hi Liz, I'm so-and-so, and I live in this place, and you're welcome to hang out with us, or whatever.
Right.
Then it is up to Liz Salas to go through and read the comments of this video and hopefully make some connections. Now, we encourage people, although that meeting in person is not something that's probably happening. If you're following the rules, it should not be happening. Right. Then this is the time to kind of get that set up and, chat it up with people and make plans for whenever to at least stitch or talk about stitching or have a Zoom stitching situation, but just make those connections and, put a Post-it note for later this fall to, hey, here's my phone number. Right. Call me when we're allowed to meet. That kind of thing.
Exactly.
And just trying to grow the community.
Liz, hopefully this will work. Most of the other ones that we have shouted out have worked.
Yeah.
Because we've seen the comments.
We're optimistic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. And this week, Pam's pinned comment comes to us from Wendy Hansen.
Hello, Wendy.
Wendy Hansen. And
Wendy sounds good.
Huh?
Wendy sounds good.
It does. A lot of the comments, of course, we had more comments because, there's a giveaway this week.
Right. Which is fine.
Everybody's comment that was interested in the giveaway was supposed to use the word house in a sentence.
Yes.
So, this is short and to the point, and some of you can relate.
I love this.
Wendy says, I love my house. Can I throw my husband out?
Yeah, we did.
Love you, girls. I'm a new subscriber. So first of all, welcome, Wendy.
Welcome, Wendy.
And glad you're here. And great comment. That comment has been pinned to all, and there were a lot because of the giveaway.
Yes.
A lot of the comments had to do with the giveaway. So hers is pinned to the top. So thank you, Wendy, and welcome aboard.
I have heard from a lot of folks who live in homes with husbands.
Yes.
That right about now you'd like to throw your husband out.
That's right.
And I'm also just very thankful that I don't have a husband to throw out. Because I probably would.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, let's talk about stitching, shall we?
Okay, well, I don't have any... Oh, wait, I do have a whip.
Yeah, you do.
Sorry.
Very, very small one, but it's a whip nonetheless.
Okay, so, I have been, so if you've watched for a while, then you know that we're doing this whole no starts thing till October. It's a little contest within our stitching group. It is what it is. However, one of my loopholes is that if it is a shop model, then I can start it. Because it's for work.
Right.
And so, yes, I know that you all are probably like, but isn't Keepsakes closed? Yes, it's closed. However, we got to be ready because our doors are going to open eventually.
Right.
And we need to have fresh new things in the shop for everyone to see.
Right.
So, I got a text from Barbara last week and she said, hey, can you put this into your rotation? I said, yes, I can. Because it will take me maybe 4 days to stitch at most.
Yeah.
And it is from the Market cookbook that came out at Market this year. It is the Happiness is Homemade cookbook. If your LNS attended National Needlework Market 2020, then your LNS is eligible to purchase this cookbook. And then I will insert, there's going to be a color photo of it at some point while I'm talking about it. But the chart that I am doing is from the Blue Flower. And it was on page... No, it was in the early pages. I know it. Yep. Page 12 of the cookbook. And it is a squirrel with a freshly baked pie. And we will insert a picture of the squirrel with the pie here.
Cute, huh?
Super, super cute. So, I had raved about it before going to market because we saw a sneak peek on the Blue Flower's Instagram, and I knew I wanted to stitch it. So, anyway. So, I'm stitching the shop model for Keepsakes on 28 count Lugana from Picture This Plus in the color Relic, which is more of like a sand color of fabric. And I'm doing it all in the called for colors except for the white color. I changed the white color to 3865 for just because of the fabric. So, this is how much I have.
There he is.
She is.
Oh, she is. Sorry.
She's got her apron on, Pam. You gotta look at the photo.
Okay.
And I started this last night, technically. We had a Zoom call with our Whistle Stop girls. And, then I put in the smoke so there's going to be a pie underneath here, as you saw in the photo. And so the smoke in the called for, I didn't think you could really see. And then but Pam was already in bed, so I had to wait for Pam to wake up. I had to wait for Pam. Pam had to wait for me to come downstairs this morning. And then I was like, okay, can you see the smoke? And she said, no, you got to change it. So then I changed it to 3865, and I think it looks a lot better.
Right.
So, this, and then I just stitched that head of the squirrel this afternoon while watching FlossTube. So, it's going to stitch up pretty quickly, I think. And so I am looking forward to it. It is all in DMC, and I will admit that the squirrel was charted in like these purple tones, and I was like, a purple squirrel? Okay, I trust you, Janine. And it's fantastic. So,
Good color.
Yes, it is a good color. Agreed.
Okay. From the small to the large.
Yes.
As you know from last week, I finished both of my WIPGO whips for April.
Yes, you did.
So I thought, what do I do for the rest of April? So I have a deadline, self-imposed, to finish Pam's Maine by my birthday, which is in June.
Yep.
And so I try to keep pace with where I am on that. And I had finished the middle square, which was West Quaddy. I had finished if you're looking at it, it's the far right, which is Seguin.
Yep.
And so I thought, in order to go all the way back to do the third lighthouse on the left side, I would work on the sort of the banner across the top. So I got that finished, and I've started on the third lighthouse, which is Cape Elizabeth Light.
Sure is.
So, in order for me to show you...
Have you said the words Pam's Maine yet? That's the name of the chart?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I said I had a self-imposed deadline
right. Okay.
for Pam's Maine.
Okay.
Are you listening?
No.
Okay.
Just kidding. Yeah, I am.
So this is big. So,
it is large.
In order for you to see...
Do you need some assistance, Pam?
I might.
Okay.
All right. So, we'll start from this end and go...
So that's a no.
Pull it toward you.
Okay.
So, there's... Yep. This is the way it's charted. Now, not everybody is obviously going to use my name. Why would they do that?
I hope
is it showing?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I hope
And
everyone
this is
uses Pam's Maine.
the state motto and in Latin and the English translation.
So the Latin is over on this side. And then...
Oh, sorry. And then the I lead is over there.
Yeah.
And so that brought me to... and I did work backwards so that I ended the top with the Pam's part. And that led me to the square for Cape Elizabeth Light.
Sure did.
And I thought you might be interested.
Did you show them
maybe
the
not. I'm folding. Might be interested in a few little trivia things about
fun facts, if you will.
Fun facts about
I love fun facts
about Cape Elizabeth Light. So
come on, Pam.
I know.
Let's pull it together.
I know.
You got on me for folding 2 weeks ago.
Shut up.
Okay.
All right. I just need to grab it. Is the thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're underneath my name, and that is
Yep, you're good.
Cape Elizabeth Light, as designed by Twin Peak Primitives.
Yes.
So, of course, when they designed this chart as a gift chart to me, they did not realize that they picked 3 of the best lighthouses on the coast of Maine.
In the coast of America.
Well, of course. And, because, yeah. And so it was fun for me to tell the twins about West Quaddy being the farthest east on the continent, and that Seguin is suspected of being haunted.
Oh, yeah.
And that Cape Elizabeth Light is one that I spent a lot of time at as a child.
This is true.
So, the story with Cape Elizabeth Light, I grew up in South Portland, Maine. Cape Elizabeth, Maine is a neighboring city farther out on the southern peninsula as you're entering Portland Harbor. Okay, you can Google map it, whatever. Anyway, Cape Elizabeth Light is also commonly known as, especially if you grew up around there, as Two Lights. Two Lights. So I just refreshed my memory about Two Lights. Two Lights meaning 2 lighthouses. And there was an eastern light and a western light. Just a little bit of, if you're old movie buffs or whatever, the western light was decommissioned many years ago. And in fact, after it went out of service, the western light, in 1971, it was purchased by someone you may have heard of if you are my age or older. His name was Gary Merrill. He was an actor, and for a period of time, he was married to Betty Davis.
Do you think that's the same Merrill that Merrill Auditorium is named after?
No. So Gary Merrill, who had a home in Maine, purchased the western light. It wasn't a lighthouse anymore. I guess maybe he stayed there for a while. He was a bit of an eccentric character when he lived in Maine.
My favorite.
And he owned the western light from 1971 to 1983, which may have been when he passed away. I'm not sure on that. I didn't research Gary Merrill. But anyway, the light that the twins have put into this chart, and I've also cross-stitched the eastern light in another piece that hangs across the way, I may show it to you at some point.
You should.
Is the Eastern Light, okay? And when I was kind of researching Cape Elizabeth Light, which is still in operation, it brought back a lot of memories because it has become a private residence now.
Oh.
And a lot of people who are lighthouse buffs might say, let's go to Cape Elizabeth Light or let's go to Two Lights.
And can you not?
And as you're going down this 2-lane road, because you're right on the coast, on the right-hand side, if you don't curve around to the left, is a state park known as Two Lights State Park.
Yeah.
And we used to go there, and I took these kids. I've been to weddings there, everything at Two Lights State Park. If you veer around to think you're going to go see this lighthouse, it's all chained off.
Really?
Do not trespass. It's a private residence. And so a lot of people get to that point. They're literally at the base of this driveway.
Yeah.
And
they're super pumped. And then they're like...
they're super pumped, and then they're super, you know what?
Let down.
Ticked off.
Upset.
And then
discouraged.
Just a little bit further down... a little bit farther down the road is a place called the Lobster Shack. And it is one of the best places to get a lobster roll and sit at the picnic table and listen to the surf. So, you know.
I don't want a lobster roll. Pam.
Now we want a lobster roll. But anyway, so this is Cape Elizabeth Light. I feel really, really good about my progress on this piece.
You should, Pam. It looks great.
And another thing that I'm going to do is when I finish this third block, there is a border that
I was going to say, you know, tell them about the border.
They charted for an off-white or a white or an ecru or something like that. And I think I'm going to do it in this blue.
Yeah!
Can't think of the number right now.
It's going to be a
But I think that'll set it off because I'm doing this on the fabric that Marissa up in Canada sent us. Boy, we hadn't been on FlossTube very long at all.
No.
And she sent us some fabric stash, and we love her to death. And it's a very, very pale blue.
Beautiful.
So a lot of the off-whites and the whites, I'm going to have to kind of doctor up with some back stitching so they stand out. And it would be a lot of wasted effort if I did that last outer border.
Because that border's huge.
In an invisible color. So I'm going to do it. So I'm really pleased
as you should
because I'm not out of April yet.
I mean, look at you go.
I've got all of May.
Yes, and
with everything else
June.
That's going on in the stitching world in May.
Right.
And down to the 24th.
Yes.
So I feel really good. So
as you should.
That's a really long-winded description of my one whip this week.
Well, congratulations, Pam.
I must say. So.
Yes. Congratulations.
All right.
As I said before. Okay. So, let's talk about finishes. Okay. Is that trash?
Yep.
Put it in the trash box.
Yeah.
Cute. Trying to stay organized over here. Just KeepStitchin headquarters.
Okay.
All right. So, I had to finish, you guys. Let's just talk really quickly about how I finished my April ornament. Finished it. Nope. Didn't start it. Finished it. I finished it before
the end of April.
Before the end of April. And I finished mine before Pam finished hers.
Yeah.
Stop the freaking presses.
Yeah.
So, if you recall from last week, because I think I had started. Yeah, I started this last
you
week.
did.
And so my April ornament was out of the Tues Halloween book from Blackbird Designs. The item on my wheel was just the book, and then I picked one out of the book that I really wanted to stitch. I want to stitch a lot of them.
Pardon me.
Nope. And I want to stitch a lot of them, and so I just chose one that I really liked. And why can I not? Really?
I don't know.
Really, with me in the pages of the books? Are we kidding? Okay.
There you go.
So the one that I chose was Night Song, which is on page 26 and 27. So that is what it looks like. Yay. I think all of the stockings by Blackbird are charted for 30 count linen. So, however, I don't really like 30 count. I mean, it's fine, but
it's just a little smaller than 28.
Yep, mathematically, yeah. And I just don't have a lot of 30 count either. So,
yeah, that's the main reason. We don't have a lot of 30.
Yeah. And I needed to find a color that was a fabric that was dark enough that was going to show off the moon behind the bird.
Right.
And so I tried like 2 or 3 other fabrics before landing on this. And so I ended up with stitching mine on 32 count linen from xJudesign, which is on Etsy. I will link her Etsy shop below. It's Jukas. And the color is toasted hazelnut or something like that.
Or dark hazelnut?
Something. There's a nut involved somewhere.
Is it hazelnut?
It might be light hazelnut.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's something hazelnut. Okay, whatever.
Okay.
Go to my Instagram. I wrote it there.
Yeah.
And using all of the called for threads, which are a combination of Week Style Works, Classic Color Works, and Gentle Arts for this bitty stocking. Thank you, Barbara and Alma.
Yeah.
And it's done.
Yeah. So the shape of the stocking is the toe is going to be down by the end of the branch,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yes. And then
Yeah.
we just have a second of rejoicing for those stitches. Okay. And it's the color is a lot richer than it's showing up on camera, but yeah, that's way more accurate.
Yeah.
Yes, I know that there's a lot of extra fabric around. I'm well aware.
But it fit really nicely in the Q stuff.
It surely did. And like the amount of fabric that I would have saved is just ridiculous.
Negligible.
So I know that people probably think I'm wasteful, and I make my own choices, okay? So, this is Night Song by Blackbird Designs.
Looks really good.
Thank you, Pam. I was very excited about finishing it.
Really
so,
good.
it will go in the ornament pile to give to Jan, the finisher. And someone was asking me, I don't know if it was last night on the Zoom call or something, but someone was asking me if, like, how do they know how to make the stocking? And I was like, oh.
Yeah, it was last night.
Yeah. And in every stocking booklet that Blackbird put out, there is a template for the stocking. Now, I did mine on 32 counts, so it's a little bit smaller than the template, but honestly, better to be smaller than to be larger. So, Jan's amazing. She's a very talented finisher. She finished the one that I did before for the Midwest Scratchers Exchange, and so she knows what she's doing. So
Oh, yeah.
I have no
problem
there. So, you don't have any finishes, do you?
No.
Happy finishes, everyone. Okay.
All right.
Oh,
What?
we have a special category.
Yes, we do. We haven't had this category in a long time.
In quite a while, actually.
Quite a while.
So, this is the back from the framers.
Back from the framer.
And,
Just imagine.
no, Keepsakes is not framing anymore. However,
Right.
there are some exceptions. Those exceptions are Barbara will pin items for you, and then you can take them to wherever to have them framed once they are pinned.
Which is really nice.
Which is
that she does that.
Yes. And then if you find a frame for a project, like at a thrift store or in your garage or your attic or your grandma's or whatever,
Right.
and you say, oh, this is perfect for this piece, you can bring it into Keepsakes and Barbara will frame it for you.
Yep.
Happily. And so this is kind of hilarious how this worked out. So, fun fact, Keepsakes has a ton of models, ton of shop models all over the place. If you've been there, you know this. If a shop model goes out of print or is one that we are unable to attain any longer for whatever reason, then the shop model will then go home to whoever the stitcher was. sometimes the shop models are either so old that the stitcher is no longer with us, or the stitcher doesn't want them anymore. And so then we have a pile of shop models, or Barbara just whipped it up really quickly and just to have the shop model, and it's not really something she wants, or, you know, isn't her aesthetic at her house. And so then she has a model sale, and you can purchase the models right there.
Yeah.
And so I was perusing the model sale last summer, and I was like, I'm sorry, I need that one. Because the frame was so unique, as you'll see in a moment, and the piece inside the frame I had actually stitched and was in the under the bed box waiting to be FFO'd. So what I did was I bought the shop model, and then I took it back to Keepsakes with the piece that I had stitched. Barbara removed the shop model and put in mine. So, the piece that I'm talking about is called Be Naughty from Lizzie Kate. And I stitched it so long ago. It was one of my early stitches. So our longtime viewers will probably recognize it. So it's been under the bed box, in the under the bed box for quite some time. But now it will be part of our Christmas display. So, this is what it looks like. And this is stitched in all the called for colors. The fabric that I used is called Candy Cane, and it is from Chromatic Alchemy, which is a UK fabric company. And I will link them below. We were really into their fabrics when we first started making FlossTube videos, and have quite a bit of her fabric in our stash. But I love this mat cutout. I think it's fantastic. You can see all the detail in it, and Barbara did all that for the shop model. So it fit perfectly in here, as you can see, and it's just so cute.
It is.
So I'm super happy to have this for our Christmas display.
Yes. Very good.
Thank you, Barbara.
Very, very good.
Yes, love it. All right, so let's talk about some promotions.
Okay. We always feature a pattern of the week.
Yes.
From our good friends in the Netherlands.
Sure do.
Twin Peak Primitives.
Sure do.
This week, we are kind of going big.
Uh-oh.
I decided that the pattern of the week is a adorable series that can be stitched as all one piece. It's a monthly thing, okay? And the title of it is I'll Be Home, all right? So what we have is 12 houses, each representing a month of the year.
Yes.
And our pattern of the week is the package of all 12.
Yes.
In order to get the special discount for the week, you have to buy the package of all 12 houses.
Which is a really good deal at 20% off.
At 20% off, it's a really good deal. So what we're going to insert here is a picture of it all stitched together. And then we also have pictures of each individual month.
Yeah, so you guys can see.
So you can see each month closer up.
Right.
But the featured pattern is for the bundle.
Correct.
And we're going to insert that here.
cool. So
aren't those amazing?
Even if you only like half of them, it's worth it to buy the whole bundle together.
Right. Right.
To be fair.
Right.
So, if you would like to get your hands on this incredible deal for a pattern of the week, then you can do so at a couple different places. You can get a PDF download of the package from the Twin Peak Primitives Etsy shop or their website, both linked below. If you would rather have a hard copy of the chart, you can do so by contacting Beach Cottage Stitchers, which is an online needlework shop, and their website is also linked below in the description box. So the deal for the pattern of the week goes until episode 146 goes live. So typically 1 week.
Right.
Are you going to tell them about your plan?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you an extra incentive, maybe, to buy the I'll Be Home series, all cottages in one. And I printed off a color copy too. And here's the incentive. Since I am heading toward the finish line of the Pam's Maine Sal Stitch Along, which technically ends on June 24th, my 65th birthday. Not that I'm going to take the Facebook page down or anything like that. There are still people joining the group. There's...
Oh, really? Cool.
Oh, yeah. There's over 100 people. Because why not? Even if you don't have plans to stitch it, you're following along, and I don't care.
Yeah. Just don't be weird.
And so that'll stay up there, but the technical ending of that sale is coming up in another couple of months, right? I thought it would be kind of fun to host a stitch along for this piece all stitched on one.
So the only way they can participate is if they're doing them all in one?
Yes.
Really?
No?
That's awfully exclusive.
No, let's not be exclusive. Let's be inclusive.
Yeah.
Let's be inclusive. So even if you choose to do April, May, June, July, August,
January,
any
February,
combination thereof, your kids'
October,
months,
December.
birthdays, whatever, anniversary month, whatever.
Right.
You can join the Facebook group. And I haven't set it up yet. And I won't
until later. We'll let you know.
But maybe a little bit of an extra booster to buy this chart for all the cottages in one.
So then you
can be part of the Facebook group and follow along.
Yeah.
So I'm going to...
Have you thought of a hashtag yet?
No.
Okay.
I haven't thought of a... Probably I'll Be Home. I'll Be Home Sal. I'll Be Home Sal. Now, because of the restrictions on our Crockpot Crew Whip It Good thing that we got going on, which is restrictive in regards to new starts until we go to Whistle Stop in October.
Right.
I won't be starting this until...
I thought you were going to...
Oh, I'm going to have it as one of our little exceptions to the rule is a StitchCon start. And
correct.
In spite of the fact that we're not having StitchCon this year,
we're still going to have a
StitchCon start.
Because we like a good loophole.
So, it'll be sometime in June, maybe immediately after my birthday, the latter part of June.
Yeah.
And I will tell you that the
dimension
floss chart is quite long.
Oh, yeah.
And for the whole thing.
But that's for all of it. Yeah, exactly.
And the dimensions of it are
343 by 391.
Yeah, just a little bit taller than it is wide.
It's a Mac Daddy of a chart.
It's a Mac Daddy of a chart. So,
that's great.
But the individuals, as you saw in the pictures,
are super cute.
I love, some of my favorites are...
My favorite's October.
I love January with the snow on the roof. I love the February with the little man on the steps with Valentine in his hand. I love July with the bald eagles on the front lawn. And
my favorite's October.
I love October, which kind of looks like the House of Seven Gables. And I love December with the red windows.
And because that's when my birthday is.
And, of course. So, yeah. Yeah, that came to mind right away.
Thanks, Pam.
Anyway, so maybe if you want to follow along on the Sal, maybe if you want to do it big like I'm doing it, maybe if you want to do some of them.
Yeah. Even May's got patriotic
for
stuff
the 20% off.
I mean, it's worth it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, come on.
So we're going big for I'll Be Home.
It doesn't matter
appropriately titled. Who they didn't know. This isn't new. This has been in their catalog for a while. So, in fact, when I told them, I said, we're going to do I'll Be Home, all cottages in one, they were very excited. Yeah. So, anyway, that's the deal with the pattern of the week.
Yep, sure is.
We also want to give you a brief reminder that our Dutch Mania 2020, for obvious reasons, has been postponed till next year. Mm-hmm. The contest continues. The chart that needs to be purchased for you to be entered in a chance to travel with us next year is the Springfield 1817 sampler. It is also on their Etsy, and
you can also buy it from Beach Cottage Stitchers.
All the general purchasing rules apply to that as well.
Yes. So,
that is a long way away, but we always want to remind you that that is ongoing.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
That brings us to...
We don't have any.
We don't?
No.
We don't have any mail call.
None.
Holy moly.
Guacamole.
Okay, so no mail call. So,
yeah, right?
Big fat zero.
Okay. Yeah, I know that I put it on the list, Pam. I know I put it on the list. It's okay.
That's what threw me.
I know. I didn't mean it, so it's fine.
All right.
So we're going to talk about haul. Okay,
right.
I'm going to go first.
Go first.
Okay. So, I got some Keepsakes Haul. I got this because I had stitched the Bluebird sampler from Heart and Hand. You all saw me do that. It's also a shop model. And then I wanted to get the next one in the series. It's not the next one. The Bluebird's the latest one. So this might have been like the first one. I don't even know. But this is a Red Bird sampler. From Heart and Hand.
Pheasant. That's what it looks like to me, a pheasant.
It looks like a cardinal to me.
With that long tail, it looks like a pheasant.
Looks like a cardinal.
Cecilia, help us out here.
Cardinal. See, you can see the shadow of the cardinal up here.
Oh, you think? Yeah. Sorry.
It's okay, Pam.
Yeah.
Sorry, Cecilia. So, I will do this one on 40 count in some really pretty red.
Right.
So, at some point.
There you go.
And then these two were... So, if you guys remember, after we got home from Stitch Away this year, in 2019, which was the last retreat we went on.
No, yeah, it was in 2020. What are you talking about, 2019?
Whatever, I meant 2020.
You meant 2020.
And
gosh, that seems like 3 years
because
ago.
that's why I said it like that. It's because it felt like it was in 2019.
God, were we really
so
there?
long ago. Anyway, so Chrisanne Tellon from Tellon Emblem was the guest of honor, guest designer, all the things, and she had designed for that retreat 2 keepsakes patterns, and one was in a blue colorway and one was in a pink colorway, and you all remember that from when we came back home from Stitchway. Well, she came out with each of those pieces, companion pieces. So there is a sampler tile that goes with the blue piece and a sampler tile that goes with the pink piece.
Okay.
Now, we have both the pink and the blue ones in our stash, and so I had to get both sampler tiles. So, this is the pink one.
So pretty. Gosh, that's pretty.
I love it so much.
Yeah.
The colors are just amazing.
Yeah.
And it's mostly DMC, and then there are 2 Gentle Arts and 1 Chromatic. So, and then you get the little button as well. And there's no medallion in this one, I just realized. Fascinating. And then this is the blue colorway.
Lovely.
So, again, absolutely beautiful. They're both stitched on Ren. So,
lovely.
These are now available from your local needle workshop.
Work.
These are not exclusive to Keepsakes. So, if you want to contact your local needle workshop or Keepsakes, then they should be available.
Right.
We got our fabric of the month from Crazy Annie Stitchin, which is the Picture This Plus. And for 2020, we have decided to get 32 count linen because we got 32 count Lugana in 2019 and we got 28 count Lugana in 2018.
Right. So we moved to linen.
We did.
For that.
And we get 2 pieces of fabric. We get a color and a neutral.
Right.
So, now, I'm assuming that this is the color and this is the neutral.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and we get a fat quarter of each color. So, the color one is a color that I have never seen nor ever heard of.
Right.
And which is why we're in this club.
Yeah.
Right. So, it is 32 count Spice.
Isn't that pretty?
I gotta show it.
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that pretty?
Yeah. And it's a little bit richer than it's showing up on camera, but yeah, I'm pumped about this. Yeah. Like, it's absolutely
Spice. I wonder why we'd never heard of that before.
It's really pretty. It is very chocolate.
Yeah.
Chocolate brown.
Right.
Like, it's gorgeous.
Very fallish.
Yes.
Or Halloweenish.
You know. So, really pretty.
Right.
And then in the neutral, we got a staple that I'm sure a lot of you have stitched on. And we love it. And it is Heroic.
Right.
And I will give you one of these shots of it.
Yeah.
So, there are little bits of blue and pink and red kind of like thrown out. It's supposed to be red, but it kind of comes off a little pinky sometimes. But a good patriotic piece looks really good. Looks really good on
Grungy.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. See?
Oh, there. On that side you can see. There's a lot more pink and red and blue.
Red and blue. So,
Heroic.
Yes, Heroic.
It's a classic.
Yes. So thank you so much, Annie. We love them. We love getting our fabric every month. It's always super exciting to see what we get. So
absolutely.
So yes. So thank you so much for that. Then, okay. So how many weeks ago was it? Was it 2 weeks that we shouted out Annie from Annie Joyfield Stitcher?
Was it last week or the week before?
It was the week before.
A couple weeks ago.
So we love Annie Joyfield Stitcher. She brings us all the joy, which is not
it's
ironic.
Our Friday night fun, man.
It is. Pizza and Annie is what we do every Friday night.
Yep.
So, she had mentioned that she had a coupon code,
right?
Through Threads Entwined.
Yeah,
and it reminded me that, you know, it brought me back a little nostalgia from when we had our own coupon code.
We had a code with them, with her too, right?
And I was like, you know what? I'm doing all this talking about supporting keepsakes and like support your LNS and do all the things and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And, you know, why not spread the love myself?
Right.
So, I just want to take a moment to thank Annie for the coupon code.
Right.
And there's no saying I might use it again. Just saying.
Because I think it's still going. Friday night it was still going.
Oh, yeah. It's through the end of May, I think.
Oh, okay, good.
But you need to watch Annie to find out what the code is.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not going to give it to you. You got to go watch Annie.
Don't worry, Annie, we got your back. Yeah. So, and I just want to throw out my 2 cents as to how I feel about Threads Entwined. Trish is a sweetheart. She's amazing. She works her butt off. Anyone who is working in a needle workshop right now during this particular time
is working their butt off.
Is working their actual butt off.
Right.
I can just, from personal experience, I can attest to that.
Yeah.
So I know how much ridiculous amount of work it is to package and ship orders. And it takes a lot.
Yeah.
And the amount of time and effort it takes to package a package the way that Trish does is like,
Yep.
like, here's the bar.
Yeah.
And so this came in the mail, this really lovely teal package. It looks blue, but it's teal. And with this really sweet little sticker that says, thank you on it.
Mm-hmm.
Do not bend. Mm-hmm. Don't worry, it was not bent.
Right.
And then I ordered a chart and some threads. So, it was sent in between 2 pieces of cardboard to assure that it was not bent, mm-hmm. which I so much appreciated. And then it's like a little mini unboxing. You're welcome. And then I did open it to look at the stuff, but it was packaged in this beautiful purple tissue paper. Mm-hmm. And then it was taped together, and then another thank you sticker was included. And it was just packaged so nicely. So, everybody was like, after seeing last week's episode, said, you need to stitch another fox. Believe me, I'm already there. Already thought about it. Already going through charts. It's all good. So I went through my own stash and did some general research on cross-stitching boxes. And I found a chart that was done by Artful Offerings. I didn't want to go to the first one that automatically came to mind. I wanted to kind of look at them all and then pick one. And so I picked this chart from Artful Offerings, which, luckily Threads Entwined had in stock. And it is called Red Fox Vineyard. And it is going to be one of my whistle stop starts, because we have a fox family. So, I am going to change the word vineyard to something. I do like his little bow tie, but I think I might remove it. I haven't fully committed to that or not yet. However, it's, yes?
No, I'm just looking. It's kind of got a plaid to it.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. But he's so dapper.
Yeah.
I love him so much.
It's lovely.
I will stitch him on 40 count, hashtag obviously, duh. And I don't know. I looked. You're
going to keep the grapes?
Yes.
Oh, you are going to keep the grapes?
I love the grapes.
Oh, okay.
I think it adds a pop of color that's necessary.
Well, even though, grapes and vineyard go together, but
the Fox and the Grapes is a story.
The Fox and the Grapes from Aesop's Fables.
Right,
absolutely.
Exactly. So,
right.
I'm here for that. Mm-hmm. So, I did look up the Latin, fox terminology. And fun fact, there is a Latin term for fox family that would fit here. So that's a good chance. Mm-hmm. But this is just one fox. I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
We haven't decided.
But... So that came from Trish, and then in here,
again, packaging,
lovely, was most of the threads for this chart.
Oh, good.
And
all in a ring? That's how they came?
That's how they came.
Oh, how wonderful.
All in a ring.
That's great.
So, thank you so much, Trish. They're going to be super, super pretty. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, lovely.
Very pretty.
So, I'm going to take those threads.
What is it called for to stitch it on?
I haven't looked at that yet, Pam.
Well, let's just check it out here.
30 count
weeks putty.
So, I'll just get 40 count putty.
Yeah.
Done and done.
Lovely.
Easy. And so thank you so much, Trish. Thank you so much, Annie, for your code. So if you are looking to support another small business, if you're looking for a coupon code, go check out Annie at Joyfield Stitcher, because I can guarantee that you watch one of her episodes, you're going to want to watch them all.
Oh, yeah.
And go support an amazing, amazing business owner at Threads Entwined.
Absolutely.
So you want to show your haul?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, so last week I had that Bent Creek finish.
You sure did.
Of the showers and flowers, correct?
Correct.
Someone had commented on my Instagram feed after I posted my finish there.
Yeah.
And they said, are you going to do all 4 seasons? And I went, there's 4 seasons. So we've done a little recon, and we found a buy it now for
Autumn
House. So that's coming.
Nope, that's in that box.
This is Autumn House here?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe so.
I don't have a picture of Autumn House, but the one that I'm just trying to recall.
Okay, so the one that you finished was spring.
Right.
The one that you are waiting on is summer. The one in the box in your hand is autumn, and the one over there is winter.
Okay. So these two were individual, I mean, not the same seller, not the same eBay seller.
Right.
But two separate eBay sellers had summer and autumn. And unfortunately, I don't have a picture, and I didn't download one.
But it came.
Autumn is square, though.
Autumn and summer are square.
And summer is square.
As opposed to long like the spring.
They all came in these little boxes.
And this one's like 10 almost.
And then the winter one is actually called Silver and Gold. And it came new in package.
Sure did.
NIP. And it's...
NIP, you mean nip?
Yeah. Well, that's how they list them on eBay. So you got this shadow going on. But it's a little house with a row of trees in the snow.
It's so cute, though.
And I haven't even opened it yet.
Nope, you haven't.
But these are quick. And so thank you. Someone sent me links. Was it Cheryl? I think it was Cheryl.
I can't keep track of my own messages. Those are yours.
All right. Sorry. But so I grabbed these up. And
so let's just have a real talk real quick.
About what?
So when you first pulled out Showers and Flowers, you were like, I don't even know where I got this.
I know.
You were like super down the dumps about stitching it. And now you're like, I'm going to stitch all
Well, didn't it come out cute though? I mean, you saw it last week and you've seen it on Instagram. I mean, it was just darling.
So you started with one project that you didn't really like, and now you got three more that you got to stitch.
Isn't that the way, though?
It is. That's just how the world works.
What year they come out with these.
Me neither. But for that kit to only be $20.
I love Bent Creek. I've loved Bent Creek since Bent Creek was...
Bent Creek.
Bent Creek. We love you, Bent Creek girls.
We do.
All right. So I got those.
Yes, they're fine.
And I want to tell you about this.
Yes.
Because you know we love so much to love. We love Karen and Jose. We do.
We sure do.
And this one was a special deal, though. She had bought this fabric, and this is a project bag. Karen had bought this project... Let's start again. Karen. Remember Karen from Summer Club?
That was good.
She had bought this fabric because it was essentially red, white, and blue, thinking it would be a good, maybe July project bag.
For bag of the month.
For bag of the month. And with everything else going on, she decided that she would use this fabric to make project bags as a fundraiser. And bless her heart, the sale of these bags supports a charity called Samaritan's Purse, as in the Good Samaritan.
Correct. And
Samaritan's Purse is funding 2 emergency hospitals during the COVID-19 pandemic, one in Italy and one in New York City. So Karen made up her standard bag, her, what's the little...
Sidekick?
Sidekick bag, and the big bottom bag with this fabric. And I said, yeah, red, white, and blue, and a good charity, I'm there. This is the big bottom bag.
It's so
Isn't
pretty.
this beautiful? All right. And
show them what you mean by big bottom bag.
It's got a pleat in the bottom, so it gives you some extra room for your bigger projects in the back.
Right.
Plus, the reason I wanted to get it, I like the size.
Yes.
And the more you spent with Karen, the more money went to the charity.
For sure.
So, hello, I'm there.
Right, for sure.
There's Karen's little felt heart.
Yes, show them the inside.
Zipper pull.
Yeah.
And on the inside, of course, the lovely lace. And on the inside, look at that. Isn't that pretty? So, had to do it. Had to do it. And right before this video started, I did check. This size, she had 2 left. So, go follow, go check, maybe, message her.
No, just go check the So Much to Love Etsy shop.
And go check the So Much to Love Etsy shop.
Which I will link below for you.
And see if she has. But I love the check and this.
It's fantastic.
I mean, it's a fantastic bag.
It looks like an Americana picnic.
You know,
she
she sent a little goodie package like she always does. You know, So Much to Love.
With a thank you and a tea bag.
With a tea bag from Stash. Which, you know, I have my tea every afternoon.
She does, 3:30 every day.
Lemon ginger.
Oh, wow.
And a little note. Let's see what the note says, shall we? Because she always writes such sweet notes.
She does.
Fundraiser. Oh, it's called the Brighter Days bag.
Yes.
Because we're all looking toward brighter days ahead. She wrote a little note. She said, "Hi, Pam. Normally it takes 3 to 4 weeks, but this time you get the one that I made to photograph. I didn't know that, Karen. So I have the one that's in the photograph.
Look at that, Pam.
Thank you so much for your support. Hugs, Karen."
That's cool.
That is very cool. I'm kind of touched by that. Yeah.
And then the standard So Much Love info card.
And then her, yeah, because I noticed when I purchased it, it did say 3 to 4 weeks estimated shipping, and so I was like,
when it showed up, I was like, oh man,
that's fine. And then when it showed up, I was like, wow, that really came fast. Now I know why. So love you, really Karen, cool. And I love this bag.
Super cool.
And it's just gorgeous. All of her stuff is top drawer.
It's
and we love it. It's time for a giveaway.
It sure is. So it has been a while
since
we have done a giveaway on this channel, but that is okay.
Right.
And so if you all remember, last week we were giving away this lovely chart from Lizzie Kate called A Perfectly Kept House. And it was thanks to an amazing viewer whose name is Karen, who wanted to kind of, you know, pay it forward. And so we asked you all to comment below of last week's video and use the word house in a sentence.
Easy these days, right?
Right. And that was your entry into potentially winning said chart. And so I know it's been a while since we've done a giveaway, but the way that I did it is the same way that we've been doing it forever, which is that I used YouTube random comment picker, looking for the word house, and then I picked a winner.
Right.
So I then also, of course, for full transparency's sake, recorded myself picking a winner.
Right.
So we will insert the video of me picking a winner here. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's giveaway portion of the program. This week we are giving away this lovely chart here called, A Perfectly Kept House by Lizzie Kate. And it says A Perfectly Kept House is the sign of a misspent life. And then included is that chart that says Live Simply. And then it's got, I don't know if you can tell, but it's got the linen in there as well. And this, in order to be entered to win this lovely chart, we ask that you comment on episode 144. Pam and Steph are feeling foxy. And that you put the word house in your comment. So, we are going to use the YouTube random comment picker. And then filter comments based on a specific text. So, I have the word house typed in there. So that way it will only pick the comments that have the word house. Let's see. 112 comments using the word house. All right, so let's pick a winner. Ready? Congratulations, Rosalind Hummler. Love you both so much. Thank you, Rosalind. Love you too. Best part of Sunday night. Pam, I checked out an audiobook of Dead Wake by Eric Lawson. Man, was it good. I got a lot of stitching done listening to it. I am on the wait list for one of his other books. Thanks for the tip. Steph, I look forward to your daily-ish Instagrams. Best part of being cooped up inside the house. The Fox family is adorable. Well, thank you, Rosalind. Congratulations. You have won A Perfectly Kept House by Lizzie Kate. And in order for us to ship this out for you, we just need your address, and then we will get it right out to you. So, Rosalind, if you would be so kind as to send your mailing address, please, to Pam's email, which is listed in the description box below, then we will put this in the mail to you, and you can get started on it. So, thank you all so much for all of your fantastic comments, and I will send you back to regularly scheduled programming now. Bye. So, congratulations, Rosalind.
Right.
Hummler.
Right.
Is how I think it's.
We think it's Hummler.
Hummler, yes. So, we already have, thanks to Karen, the postage paid stamped envelope.
Yeah. So we can go right out.
So all we need is your address, Rosalind. So, just please get in touch with Pam, like I mentioned in the recording, via her email address, which is listed in the description box below.
Right.
So, thank you to Karen. Congratulations, Rosalind. And thank you to everyone who commented.
Right.
Yay.
Right. I have a request to pass along from one of our fellow FlossTubers and a member of our Crockpot crew. She is Kentucky Sass on FlossTube. Her first name is Delicia. And she is doing a piece that she's kind of rounding third, heading for home on. And she is kind of panicking because it's a monochromatic piece and she's awfully afraid she's running out.
Yes.
So,
she asked us to ask you to help.
Yeah, she asked if we could mention this. Mm-hmm. And the color that she needs, and there are a couple of different dye lots on this. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to just describe this to you. And before you stick it in the mail to us, if you already have our address, please let me know that you're mailing it. I don't want to get a whole bundle of this color floss from different people for our friend Delicia.
Yeah.
Okay? So what she needs is Gentle Art, Harvest Moon, mm-hmm. and the number for that is 7003.
7033.
Oh, sorry. 7033. But it's Harvest Moon. Mm-hmm. And if you happen to have some of that, she's looking for the dye lot that is more orangish.
Yes, because I know now the dye lot of Harvest Moon kind of looks more yellow.
And this has to match.
Yeah, because it's all monochromatic.
So if you think you have some and you want to send me an email so that I can maybe give you Delicia's mailing address.
Or you can send it to us if you'd rather.
Or you can send it to us, but I don't want to get a whole bunch of it. She's so close to the end, and it has to match.
So we're hoping that someone has, like, maybe one skein.
Right. Maybe that one
we could pay for.
At the most 2, and we'll PayPal you back or whatever.
We'll compensate you for your trouble.
Right. So I'm putting that plea out in the FlossTube universe. We need Harvest Moon by Gast, the orangish one.
Yes.
Which might be the older one.
Yes.
All right. Beyond that, we don't have a whole lot of big plans.
Nope.
We continue to do Zoom calls and what's the other one that we sometimes WebEx calls with some stitching friends. We encourage you to do that. It's really easy. It's super fun. I
want to give everyone an update on the Fox family.
Oh yeah.
So it's been unseasonably cold here this week, and
really chilly,
windy and rainy, and we have not seen much of the Fox family, unfortunately.
But today we had a little clue.
Yes.
And
please don't be too graphic.
Please don't be offended by this. But as Stephanie says, it's the circle of life.
Yes.
We did discover...
Let's just say that we found something that they would eat in our front yard.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then that was
so that might be an indication. It was animal.
Right.
It might be an indication that they are still in the vicinity.
Correct. And the babies we saw them again on Monday night. But they were on the sidewalk
of the house.
And unfortunately, we don't have a light over there.
Right. Right.
So
you have to catch them like in that dusky part of the afternoon.
Right.
And then after dark, you wouldn't be able to see them on that side of the house. Because that's like the back side of the house.
Correct. So, Jen Grimes did mention a nighttime wildlife camera we could purchase on Amazon.
Well, let's not get too... Well, I know.
But anyway, so we
think they're still in the vicinity.
Yes.
But, animals get larger fast.
Because they grow.
Because they grow.
Because they're animals.
We also have a bird's nest. Too.
We do. That's Lois out front.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, anyway,
so that's the update on the Fox family.
About the Fox family.
Yeah, so that's what's going on.
Other than that, we have solidified our Stitch Mania plans.
Yes, we have.
And so we will share those plans with you probably next week.
I think so, isn't that?
That's the last Sunday before May.
Is it?
I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
April's going fast. A lot faster than March, right?
Hello. I know. March had 712 days.
So, ours is going to be different this year, but we're going to kind of do sort of the same format. And we're kind of excited about it.
I'm excited about it.
Of course, we've got a spreadsheet.
We do. So we'll share all those plans with you next week. And other than that, we're going to stitch. Like I said, I'm working Monday, Tuesday, and I'm confident I'm going to work Tuesday. And then I'll be off the rest of the week per usual. That's kind of how we've been doing things. Right. And again, if you have any questions at all about StitchCon, please defer them to the StitchCon email address listed in the box below. Right. And please remember that the Facebook group is for paid attendees only, so don't be offended if you're not permitted.
Right. I'm going to continue with Pam's Maine until the last week of the month, and then I'm going to stop wherever I am, and I'm going to get my April ornament done. Yes. That was on that silvery perforated paper that was...
Oh, maybe I'll spin my wheel now that I'm done.
Kind of challenging, and of course,
very excited.
I'll have WIPGO for next month that I'll have to get in position for.
I have to finish my squirrel, and then after my squirrel, I've been inspired to pull out an old whip.
Yeah,
by a good friend. So I think I'm going to do that. Maybe you'll see it next week.
That's exciting.
So anyway, we need to get some dinner, and I need to edit this video.
Yeah. Go look at I'll Be Home, all cottages in one. And
get ready for a Sal with Pam.
Get ready for another Sal coming up this summer.
Exciting times.
And take care of yourselves.
Yes.
And check in with all of your good friends and your family and make sure everybody's doing okay.
Yes.
Until Sunday, next week, I'm Pam.
And I'm Stephanie.
And this is
Just Keep Stitching. Bye.